On this week's episode, we're out here at Pumpkin Creek Farms talking about how to keep your back healthy through the fall. Welcome to episode 7 of the Wellness Lab. I'm Dr. Nick Silveri. We're going to be talking today about fall health tips. And we're out here at Pumpkin Creek Farms. And we're with Curt Fleck, who is the owner. Thanks for letting us come out here, Curt. So tell us a little bit about how long you've been in business and what you do out here.
Sure. We've been open to the public for 2 years.
Okay.
We wanted to create a place where in the Springfield area people could go as a family, have fun with their kids, enjoy the fall season obviously around here. The harvest season is important, Central Illinois culture, and we wanted to make a great place for families to come spend a day and have a good time out on a farm.
Great. And you really saw a gap in the market where you saw that there weren't as many pumpkin farms as maybe should be that are really focused on kids' activities. Tell us about some of the activities you guys added out here.
Yeah, sure. What we saw was a lot of families that were going an hour from home to find a place to play with their kids, and there's some great places around close by here now. But some of the stuff we did, we have a bin, grain bin that we actually took and we made it so the kids can jump inside. It's got 2 feet of corn in the bottom, a bunch of toys. They can play in the corn.
Nice.
We also have a barrel train so that they can ride a little train ride around the property here. We have Haystack Mountain to get up and get a nice view of the farm and then slide down off the haystack, and we have a number of other things that we do as well.
Corn maze as well, I think.
And we do have a corn maze,
Yeah.
2-acre corn maze, and the corn maze actually has a game in it about Illinois corn growing, and it's a trivia game.
Nice.
And you get through the 15 questions or so, and we'll give you a free caramel apple sucker. So
Awesome. So do you have a website that they can go to find out more information?
absolutely. Actually, the best thing to do is like us on Facebook, Pumpkin Creek Farms, or you can go to pumpkincreekfarms.org.
Great. Well, I appreciate you having us out.
Absolutely.
And we're going to
Thank
head
you.
down to the pumpkin patch, and Dr. Rob's going to be talking about some yard work safety tips. All right, we're down here at the pumpkin patch with Dr. Rob. We're going to be talking about safety tips for yard work. So as the leaves start to fall, a lot of us are going to end up out in the yard doing some work that we haven't done in a long time. And we want to make sure that we're trying to avoid any injuries so you don't end up in the office more than you need to be. So the 4 things we're going to be talking about today are proper raking technique, proper brooming technique, making sure that we're using good mechanics getting the leaves into a bag, and then tips on how to garden and to put yourself in a good position there. So Dr. Rob, on the first one, raking, what are the things that we really need to make sure that we're doing?
Usually with raking, so you'll see people just kind of do the same motion over and over again, when if they would kind of switch motions, just kind of move around a bunch of different ways.
Right.
We'll keep down the repetitive movements, because repetitive movements generally cause injury to the spine.
Okay. And I'd say like the muscle strain also from overusing those muscles will be a big thing that we want to avoid as well.
Absolutely. And like you've said before, when we were kind of keeping the rake close into the body, it's really easier. It puts less strain on the muscles.
Okay. So with the brooming, that's going to be more of a push motion instead of a pull motion.
Yeah.
So what are the things that we need to make sure we
So,
pay attention to?
I mean,
there?
same kind of thing, as long as we're kind of breaking everything up. I mean, if you're in this motion for a long period of time, it's really not too bad, but at the same time, just kind of switching things so we're not doing the same motion over and over again.
Yeah, and I'd say even switching hands also. People want to use their dominant hand a lot to push or to pull, but making sure that we're using our right and our left as much as possible, I think will help with that as well. And so the other, like once we've got all the leaves raked up and swept up, we need to make sure that we're using proper mechanics to get the leaves in the bag. So what are the things we need to avoid?
What you'll see a lot of people do is just kind of bending at the waist and then turning, setting it in a bag.
Yeah.
When in reality, if you're lower to the ground and kind of scooping things into a bag,
Okay.
it's going to be a lot easier on our low backs.
Okay. And when Dr. Rob did that, I could see, him rotating when he was doing the bad motion. That rotation, I think, is what gets people into a lot of trouble with yard work, is because they're just not used to rotating a lot in that repetitive motion. So making sure that we're moving our feet instead of twisting at the waist, I think that'll help not put pressure on the low back. And then for gardening, so obviously we can't do it standing up, gonna have to get lower to the ground, and get a lot of people in the office that have back pain from gardening. So what are the things that we need to make sure we're doing?
Things I'd like to see people do is if they had like a small stool they could sit on to have their work right in front of them, or even kneeling on something like a towel, which that'll absorb some of the shock.
Sure.
So it's not putting pressure from our knees straight up to our hips and low back.
Right. And if you are sitting, or even if you're kneeling, making sure that you're keeping your spine in a good position, a good neutral position. Even if you are using a stool, not leaning forward for any extended period of time, I think is going to be really helpful. And same way with the knees. If you're on your knees, just making sure that you're sitting up straight and trying to keep your spine in good position. So all these tips we're going to be putting into a PDF and putting onto the WellnessLab.tv. So head over there. There'll be some extra tips that we didn't talk about today as well. So head over there and you can download that information. And Raney's Fitbit is next.
Hi, I'm Raney. Welcome to this week's Fitbit. Today we're at the pumpkin market and I'm here with Brooke. She's going to help me demonstrate to you how to properly pick up a pumpkin or an object, proper lifting techniques, and then we're going to go over how not to do it as well. So first, let's start with how not to do it. So what you don't want to do is be standing further away from the pumpkin and then only bending at the waist. So she's keeping the pumpkin way far away from her body. She's only lifting with her back. This is what you don't want to do. She's going to end up injuring her back here. So what she should do then is scoot a little closer to her pumpkin. She's going to have one foot kind of in front of the other. She's going to bend at the knees and at the waist, and she's going to keep that pumpkin close to her. So she's going to pick it up with her legs this time. All right, so now if you're carrying it to pay for it or carrying it to the car, what she should be doing is turning everything at the same time. So she's turning her feet, her waist, and her shoulders all at the same time, and then carrying the pumpkin close to her just like that. All right, so just remember that you can use these techniques whether you're picking up a pumpkin or maybe you're at work picking up something heavy. But yeah, that's been this week's Fitbit, and we'll see you next time.
All right, we're back here at Straw Mountain, and we're going to be talking about allergies and the difference between, or how to determine the difference between colds and allergies, and also what we can do to help combat the allergies. So Dr. Rob, like a lot of parents come in with their kids, they're not sure if it's a cold or if it's seasonal allergies, or people are canceling appointments because they think they're sick and contagious and don't want to come in, and a lot of times it's just allergies. How does somebody tell a difference between those two?
A couple of different things you can look at. For one, if you get the same thing all the time, every year, it's more likely going to be an allergy type symptom, and those are going to be more common in the spring, summer, and fall.
Right.
A lot of people, colds in general, they're going to last about 3 to 14 days. So if it's lasting longer than that, chances are it's an allergy issue. But
as long as you're exposed to whatever the allergen is, whether it's pollen
or
you're going to
continue to cause problems for you. And also, you want to see if the person's having like fever, body aches. That's more likely going to be a cold, probably some sort of infection going on in the body.
Okay. And I'd say one other tip on that is with colds, they're usually going to show up 7 days after exposure to a virus. With allergies, it's going to start pretty much immediately after exposure to the allergen. So what are some natural things that people can do now as allergy season is starting to kick off to try to help avoid that?
Making a drink of apple cider vinegar. It has to be raw, organic, with the mother in the bottle, and it'll have that listed on the bottle. But if you combine that with like some raw or local honey, then first of all, it'll make the drink taste better, but you're exposed a little bit to more of the allergens, so your body can fight it back a little bit more.
Got it.
So
Okay.
that'd be a really good tip. Doing probiotics, so if you have a healthy gut flora, then your immune system can be trying to fight other things in your body as opposed to trying to work to break down food and spend a lot of time in the gut.
Got it.
So let's see, what else?
I'd say the third thing is probably chiropractic. You know, chiropractic is going to make sure that your nervous system is functioning appropriately, and it's going to, the same way with the immune system, it's going to allow the systems in your body to fight the way that they're made to fight. So, anything else that you can add to that, or do you think that's good?
I mean, I think that's good. I think we'll probably have more information on our website of different things. And actually, I mean, for some people, they do like using neti pots. Everyone's a little different on those. Some people love them, some people hate them. But
So explain what a neti pot is for people who
so
don't know.
essentially, you're using a saline solution and you're just rinsing out your sinuses. So when you do that, you're going to take a lot of that mucus. You're going to get it out of your system a little quicker.
And the allergens that are causing the problem
Exactly.
in the first place. Okay, great. So yeah, like Dr. Rob says, head over to the WellnessLab.tv. We'll have a list of things that you can do naturally to help avoid getting those seasonal allergies. And you know, we'll see you next week on the Wellness Lab. To submit a question, watch a past episode, or to find out more about the Springfield Wellness Center, check us out on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, or find us on Instagram, or check out our show website at wellnesslab.tv.